Hello, my name is Nancy Sorge, and I am going to do the incoming kindergarten 2020 talk for the parents. A little history: I was the reading specialist at Mark Twain for 25 years, a job that I totally loved, and a passion that I will have for the rest of my life. I believe all children, once they read, their life totally changes. So what I'll do is I'll give you a couple tips of how you can prepare your child for kindergarten and make it the best experience ever. But you as parents are their first teachers. So your part in this is extremely important. And your commitment every day to put a lot of effort into it so that the child has a successful year. And you need as parents to have really high expectations. Your child is very, very bright and can do many things. So it's really important every day to read to your child, to ask them questions. Reading is perhaps the most important thing you can possibly do to your child every night. And make reading a priority. Wherever you go, make sure you bring a book. So they're looking at a book and you can be talking about a book. In kindergarten, the very first day of school, this will be the book that they read, The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. And it's about a child, really the child is the baby raccoon, and you can say to the child, what do you think this book is going to be about? Do you think it's going to be about dinosaurs? No, it's going to be about raccoons. And the little raccoon, it's going to go to school for the first time. And he's nervous and he's afraid. He's going to be away from his mom and dad for a long time. So you can read the book to them. You can give them assurances that it's okay. Through the whole time, you're going to be thinking about them and they can be thinking about you. And you can give them a little trick, a little tip that they can do during the day if they really miss their mom. It's a little kiss in their hand and they can put it on their cheek to know that their mom or their dad really loves them. Children at this age need to know that they really need to be loved. When you register, all right, so that's the book. They're going to read the first day of kindergarten, but you can read it at home before the child goes to kindergarten so that you have that relationship with them, so that you know and that you have a little way to tell them that you always love them. When you register for kindergarten at Mark Twain, you will get a packet. The packet looks like this. Real quick, I'll go through it with you. In it, I made ABC cards for everyone, number cards, shapes, and colors. Maybe some of your children know these things, maybe they don't, but we would hope that you would practice them at home with them. We have a list of things that all children going into kindergarten should know. And for parents, we have a little checklist that you can go through with your child. Like, do they know their colors? Do they know their shapes? Can they count up to 20? Can they recognize some of the numbers? So you can go through it with your child. As you complete it, you can put a little check mark and keep going over it, because you have to realize these children are only 5 years old and they forget. You're also going to receive at registration a sheet, my whole talk, so that if you forget something, you can go back and look at it, or you can rewatch the video. You will be given a physical, dental, and vision. Right now, I realize that everything is closed, but hopefully once it opens up, and my suggestion is as soon as the pediatrician's offices open up, that you make an appointment. Please don't wait till August, because you have to have the physical, dental, and vision completed and handed into Mark Twain School in August. And I know the offices are going to be extremely crowded once they open up. So make your appointment so it's a month out, 2 months out, that's okay, but at least you have an appointment. At the time of registration, you'll be told when to bring back those forms. It's not a Mark Twain law, it's a state law that every child has to have a physical. We have to make sure that they've all had their shots. Also, when you fill out your application, make sure that your phone number is current. If by chance you change your phone number, or your husband or grandparent, somebody changes their number, make sure you always contact school, because it's really heart-wrenching when you see a child in the office crying and we can't get a hold of a parent. And I'm going to go through what the school day is going to look like, what your part as a parent we need your help with, what the reading process is, because we hope by October, the end of October, all the kids are reading. And once you see the process and you see what your part is, it's pretty easy to what you can practice at home with them. And then at the end, I have some resources and ideas what you can do with your child. Your child's day will start at 8:30 and it goes till 3:15. We'll tell you the exact date school will start when you register. The school children will line up by the playground equipment, which is door 4, and the teachers and parent aides will hold up a sign with the room number and the teacher's name, and the children every day will walk into school. They walk into school and they go to the lunchroom and they're offered breakfast. What we're hoping is that everyone reads my book, The Kissing Hand, and all the hugs and kisses are done outside. It's easier for the child, believe it or not, because they might cry for 1 minute, but once they get into school and they see all the kids and the excitement, they're really okay. So we hope that when you line them up, you give them their hugs and kisses, you tell them that you're thinking about them and you love them, and that they walk in with their teacher or the parent aide. Every day they will be offered breakfast. They have like cold cereal, they have muffins, they have fruit. But my suggestion for the first week of school is you offer them breakfast at home, so we know that they have something in their stomach. The first day of school could be hard-boiled eggs, and maybe that's not a favorite of your child. But from the lunchroom, the children will be walked to their classroom with their teacher and the parent aide, and their school day will start. At the end of the day, which their day is over at 3:15, it's 15 minutes earlier than the rest of the school, and this is done to make sure that the children leave school carefully and it's not quite as crowded for parents to pick them up. You as a parent will go to door number 3, which is on 52nd Street. You will wait there and someone will come, will let all the parents in. The children will be sitting at their table. We want to make sure every child goes home with the correct parent or whoever's to pick them up. If there's different people picking them up, please make sure you notify the teacher so they're aware of who's picking up your child. The uniform for the children is light blue shirt with a collar, navy blue pants. For the girls, a skirt or a jumper. Yes, we do have shirts available at Mark Twain with a little logo on it. You do not have to purchase them at Mark Twain. You can purchase them anywhere. I do know that Walmart, Target, uniform stores, even Old Navy. I know Old Navy, usually they're $5 like in July if you want to get a couple shirts. Also, another thing is the school is air conditioned, just so you know that. And sometimes it's a little chilly and the kids are young and not used to air conditioning, maybe quite that cool. So you might want to put a navy blue sweater or a navy blue fleece in their backpack, so if they get cold, they can go to their backpack at any time and put their sweater or their fleece on. But it needs to be navy blue. For lunch, we're suggesting that the first lunch is free for the CPS children. And you'll get a form the first week of school that you'll fill out and return, and lunch is free. Our suggestion for the first week of school, this is a new experience for the children. They're going to be gone a long time. We want to make sure that their stomach is full and they're not hungry. To have you make their lunch and make it simple. It doesn't have to be a Lunchable. It can be just what they normally have, like a piece of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or a piece of fruit, a cookie, a juice box, and they can put that in their backpack, and then the whole first week of school when they open it up, it's like, oh, this is just what I wanted for lunch. So you can talk about that at home. Emergency forms are going to be sent home please, please make sure that the phone numbers we have for the people that were to contact are current. Also, if your child is sick, please call the school. The number is on here and the extension, but it saves the office a lot of time calling to check. We have to make sure where all the children are. And when the children return to school, please make sure that they have an absent note. For kindergarten, the procedure is every Monday you'll be given a newsletter. Behind the newsletter is stapled all the homework for the week. So if you're working Monday night, then you can work on homework Tuesday and Wednesday. It has to be returned on Friday. So we realize everybody has different working schedules. It has to work for you. So make sure though the homework is done by Friday. The consequence is no playtime for the people that didn't return their homework. Also on the sheet you're going to get at registration, it lists all the school supplies that the children should have for school. And they usually go on sale in July or August. They're at Walmart, Walgreens, Target. Some of the supplies I'll show you, it's having a pencil case that's pretty sturdy because the kids are little and they open it quite quickly. You're going to notice it says numerous glue sticks, and we want the biggest kind. You only need to send one at the beginning, and you can, as they say, they need a glue stick, you can send them with another one. When they do the First Start project, trust me, they're very generous with the glue. We use lots of glue. So if they're on sale and they're a quarter or 50 cents, buy many of them. Also, it says a dry erase marker. I think they're supposed to have 2. These are for the children, not for the teachers, because they're going to have dry erase boards that they're going to write on. So it's important that they have their own dry erase marker. It also says Fisker scissors. We said Fisker because whether your child is left-handed or right-handed, it's easier to cut. You can put their name on it so it stays in their pencil case. Also it says Post-it notes. These are Post-it notes. These are for the children, not for the teacher, because as they're reading, they're going to take notes eventually, and they're going to put it on their Post-it notes so that they can talk about it to the children. Pencils. Pencils in August and September are very inexpensive. Buy lots of them. I don't know what happens, but they need lots and lots of pencils and a good eraser. Get a couple erasers. Also, crayons. Only the 8 Crayola crayons is necessary, but I would get maybe 4 or 5 boxes. Only send 1 to school at the beginning of the year, and as the children's crayons break, it's a big deal. They're very upset when their crayons break. You can send a new box of crayons. But I know if you wait and you are trying to find them in December, they're very, very expensive. So all this will be listed on your sheet at registration that you will get. There's also websites, the Mark Twain website, which is a very important website, and www.starfall.com is one that you could start using now. It has sounds and letters, blending words, and that's a good website for the children. I will be doing presentations in September, in January, and May, and I will help you through the primary grades. I'll give you lots of little tips that I used with my own children and while I was teaching, things that came up. There's also going to be a very important meeting right after mine in September, and it's a computer meeting. My suggestion is for everyone to come. School is different now, and this whole e-learning is excellent for the children, but you as parents need to know how to access the websites and how to navigate the internet with them. So we will have classes and we will help all of you. Okay, now I want to get into a little bit. The children will be tested in September, and the test is called DIBELS, and they're going to be tested on letter naming, so they need to know those ABCs. They need to know the sounds they make. For example, B, B, C, K. So they need to know those sounds. I'll give you a couple tips for that. They need to know how to segment a word. K, at, cat. to break it into its individual parts. And if they look at a nonsense word like, let me think of a word, F-I-D, id, they would be able to blend it out. And they'll know how to do that once they know the sounds. Another thing we're giving you on your sheet is the reading behaviors. So when you hand a child a book, that they know, well, this isn't the front of the book. This is the book. This is the front of the book. And how you turn the pages and which way you turn the pages of the book. So I gave you a whole list of things that you can go through with your child that you can practice at home. It's pretty easy, and things that you can just do every day with them. Okay, now the reading process. So in your packet, you're going to get ABCs. And I have them together, so uppercase and lowercase. And right now, keep them together so that the children realize this is letter A. And let me go through, and real quick, I'm going to go through the sounds so you understand what we're doing. I'm doing the vowels first. A, so you can get a box of cards, like ABC cards, even at the dollar store, and what you can say, apple, A, The vowels have two sounds. Elephant, E, A. Igloo, I, Octopus, O, ah. Umbrella, U, like an Mittens, M. If you notice, I'm saying the picture, so I'm giving them a point of reference of a letter that begins with that sound. Grapes, G, because you can hear the G in your throat. Nest, N, Pie, P, P. Dog, D, D. Sun, S, S. Fish, F, F. Valentine, V, V. Yarn, Y, Y. Jack in the Box, J, J. Watermelon, W, W. Zebra, Z, Z. Lion, L, L. Cake, C, K. Turtle, T, T. King, K, K. Hat, H, H. Balloon, B, B. X, X. Rabbit, R, Queen, Q, Qu. So as parents, what would really help the teachers, if you go through and you can use either the ABCs I gave you, or you can get a box or a set at the dollar store. Say the picture, the letter, and the sound. So that's the first part of you need to know those ABCs. Now, if some of you are having trouble with sounds, and I realize many are bilingual, this is called Fridge Phonics. It can attach to your fridge.
G says D. G says D. Every letter makes a sound. G says D.
And this is available on Amazon or Walmart or Target, but it's by Leapfrog, and it has a very, very clear sound. Here's a vowel sound.
A says A, and A says ah. Every letter makes a sound. A says A, and ah.
So it gives you both sounds that the vowels make. They also have fridge words, and we'll get into that in a minute once I'll show you that first. Okay.
Word builders, up and away. M-E-T. Match. Match. What wonderful words, word builders.
So I'll I'll explain when we need that. First, we need the ABCs for the children to know the letters and the sounds. That would be great. Then, once they know the letters and sounds, they're going to learn sight words. Now, they'll have a couple every week. A sight word is a word you need to memorize. For example, if you look at this word, the, you don't blend it together. You don't say the individual sounds like t, h, eh. No, you just say the. So sight words are words you just memorize and you just say. And it makes the reading process quicker when you read. So every week you're going to get sight words and you have to have the children memorize it. My suggestion is to get, these are like 47 cents at Walmart, get little index cards and you can write the words and you can have your own flashcards at home where every day you do it just for a couple minutes. So, sight words are words you memorize. Blending words are the words you blend together. For example, we know A says an, s, d, sad. Those are, we take individual letters and we blend them together. So the reading process is knowing the ABCs, knowing sight words, and knowing blending words. So on your sheet, I gave you a list of sight words and of blending words that you can practice at home. Next, and every week, just so you know, you'll get new sight words and new blending words to practice at home. I always do more reading than math, but I need to give math its proper place in the development of our children. I'm giving you numbers 1 to 12, and if you notice on my cards, if they don't know this particular number, what they can do is there's a point of reference. They can always go back and count all the dots. So they would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's number 8. So you can, out of order, practice those, practice shapes, and your colors. Counting, when you go up and down the stairs, count 1, 2, 3, 4. So they know the sequence of numbers. You can go all the way to 20, and recognizing the numbers. So for an example, if you have Cheerios for breakfast, you could take and put these 2 in front of them and spread out the numbers and say, count those, 1, 2. Can you find number 2 for me? So they're looking at how they're counting them and the number that matches them. So that would be another little game that you could practice at home. But make sure you do the numbers even out of order. So I talked about learning the ABCs, sight words, and blending words. Next, I want to talk to you about just resources. One, for example, is Garfield Ridge Library, which is at 63rd and Archer. Awesome library. You can go and borrow books once it opens. Another thing that you might not know is something called a museum pass, where you give them your library card and you can go to pretty much any museum in Chicago. So for example, you could go to the Field Museum, you could go to the Children's Museum at Navy Pier, you could go to the Shedd Aquarium just by giving your library card. And just so you know, your child will be getting a library card in the fall. We will be sending home the note. I also have Children's Museum at Navy Pier, if you're able to go to that. That's a fun experience for the children. Also, and I don't know if they're going to have it this year, the Shakespeare Theater on Navy Pier, they usually have a children's play, which is excellent. Also on your sheet, I have a list of summer reading list for incoming children, kindergarten children, that you can read these books to your child at home because they're going to be some of the first books that they read in school. So the kids can say, oh, my mom read, or my dad read that book to me. Another thing I want to point out, and these are called Bob Books, and they do have them at Garfield Ridge Library. I made sure that they have them. They have 12 little books in it. Now, the books are very, very simple. This one's called Fun in the Sun. And once your child knows some of the sight words and blending words, the, sun, was, hot. They'll be able to take these books out of the library, and there's 12 of them in the first kit, and then they can start reading them by themselves. Usually by sometime in October, the children are, believe it or not, going to be reading by themselves. And having a child being able to read is perhaps the most exciting thing to watch, because you've opened their eyes to a brand new world, and a world that they really will like. Here are some of my books that I just put out just to show you. This is kind of the book that the kindergarten kids really love, Pete the Cat Stories and his 4 Groovy Buttons. And it's written by James Dean. You might want to check out Pete the Cat books. Any books by Eric Carle are also very fun books. But in September, when we meet again, I will give you more ideas and more tips. So please come to my meeting, and please work with your child because they have so much potential. And kindergarten perhaps is the most exciting year because they come in and maybe they're reading a little bit or not at all, but as they leave, they're all reading. And it's really, really exciting. So I'll see you in September. Thank you.